came home, told the wife, we're buying this. She said, oh, we are. And I said,
oh yeah, what'd she say?
She said, we are. And I said, we sure are. I said, this is my chance to get a dope-ass car. And
So tell me about your El Camino.
well, I had a friend that was selling it, and he was too good of a deal, and I was just like, I had to have it. I've always been into lowriders my whole life, and my dad kind of got me into the hot rod world, and I just kind of always loved something a little different. And I love lowriders, and this was my first chance at having hydraulics. So I took it, came home, told the wife, we're buying this. She said, oh, we are. And I said,
Oh yeah, what'd she say?
She says, we are. And I said, we sure are. I said, this is my chance to get a dope-ass car. And honestly, I didn't like the body style when I got the car. I thought it was the grandma's station wagon, front end of Malibu. And now that I own it, man, you couldn't take it away from my hands. Even Jackie tells me all the time, oh, I want that car back. If you ever want to get rid of it, I want it back. And I'm like, dude, after having my hands on this thing so much, you know what I mean? It's love now. I love this car. I guess I kind of wanted to tell why I'm down and tell everybody kind of what I did wrong so that maybe we don't have that same problem. You know what I mean? I got a 3-pump, 8 battery setup. 1 pump goes to the front. Each pump right here goes to each individual rear wheel. And when you get it, you're told maintain your solenoids, keep your batteries clean, and keep oil in there. And I've changed every hose on the whole system except for maybe that one hose right there. And when I had to change my solenoids, when I took the solenoid apart, I didn't have the bit to put the same bolt right back into the post, so I ended up finding these little self-tappers and self-tapped them, and it always kind of sparked. Yeah, these little ones. It always kind of sparked, and I just kind of always thought it was normal because it always did it. And everybody would always be like, "Oh, it smoked a little bit." And I'm like, "It's normal, like it's cool, you know, no big deal." And then I had a fire on Cinco de Mayo. Crazy Melissa comes pulling in front of me. Honk, 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 honk. You're on fire, you're on fire. And I thought I was fogging up the glass. I was thinking, I don't even have a heater core in this thing. Like, where's all the fog coming from? And then she said, you're on fire, you're on fire. And it was just a little fire. I left it up until I came home and fixed it. And then dropped it 2 or 3 days later because I couldn't get the coupler. The couplers are a pain in the ass to get. The little, unless you have them on hand already, which I do now. But so then I have it out, I'm doing my thing, I'm all over the place, and then I come home to change out the gear seal, so I quit spitting oil out of it, and I had an explosion, like a 4-foot ball of explosion. It was crazy. It was crazy. All my solenoids, you can still see they're burnt. The wires underneath of it are burnt. This one hits 3-wheel.
You don't even have to like put power to the 3-wheel. You just hit 3-wheel in this one, right?
Yeah. This one's awesome. That's all I want to do. It's all I'm in my regular car at work, and I'm actually pretending I'm hitting 3-wheel around the corner. It's just so addictive. Like, once you 3-wheel, you don't not 3-wheel. You know what I mean?
So you're in a club?
Yep, All City Car Club, Ogden, Utah. Me and Jackie Martin, me and the wife, Jackie's wife. He's got a Regal and a Grand Prix, dope ass rides. And I got my 77 Chevy, which is my baby.
Let's go look at that.
I've had that since graduation. That was my graduation gift from my dad back in '98. And I've had it ever since and held on to it and just kind of never really messed with it. And like 3 years ago, my wife was like, you got this badass ride, why don't we bust it out? And I just barely put the stock wheels back on it.
I was gonna say, these aren't the normal wheels that you run.
No.
Well, and these are the rims that you're normally running
On the 77.
on your truck, right?
Yeah, and I decided to go with the standard wheel instead of a deep dish because I just wanted to look different. I was going for a 15-inch wheel, and I feel like this 15-inch wheel looks like your first big rim. Like the spokes are out, you know what I mean? It's not deep dish. I love it. It's as soon as I put them on, it made me fall in love with the truck just so much, even more, just because it has a gangster.
Oh yeah, that looks rad. I dig it.
Yeah, it's getting taken apart this summer. As soon as it gets warm enough, taking the bed off, the cab off. Gonna do a C-notch on it.
You keeping it static, or are you gonna do?
I think I'm gonna go air ride. Yeah, I figured I'd like to see one day that I could tow one with the other, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I feel like you're gonna remember seeing this go down the road with some 15-inch spokes, as low as I can get it to the ground, hauling that El Camino over there. You know what I mean? That's a sight you're not gonna not remember. There's times that we want to go to Salt Lake, and it'd be just nice to roll up the El Camino on a trailer, take it out there, have both cars there. You know what I mean? As opposed to, because it's nice to cruise with your wife.
I love cruising with my wife.
It sucks to separate and be like, oh, you're not together all night, and it's just not quite the same. So sometimes we have both running, and I'm like, let's go home and get the El Camino. We'll just cruise that. Or let's go home and get this. It's just cool to roll with the lady. You know what I mean? I got myself a nice woman. She enjoys doing this just as much as I love it, and she loves being out here. She's made friends in the community, and it's been nice.
Yep.
It's been one of the most welcome things I've ever been a part of, just because I've always had it. In '99, me and my dad dropped it, so it's been slammed like this since before. I swear, me and Todd Gallegos was the only two that even had a slam Chevy at that time, especially truck. And I used to get a lot of hate when I first did it, because you ruined a perfectly good truck. And it did sit up high. It sat on 31s when it sat before, but I knew my passion was slamming it to the ground, you know.
Good.
I love these old cars, and I keep saying it, like I'm gonna always have one when the power goes out, mine's still gonna start, you know what I mean? And the truck, I've had it since '98, since I was 17, and it started anytime I've ever wanted it to. You know what I mean? I go out there, I take a little jumper cables, and boom, the beast. You know what I mean? It's always been the beast to me. And yeah, so I let it sit for like 10 years at my mom's house in Willard on the side of the road. And she said she had people come by all the time. Do you want to sell that truck? And no, it's my son's. He doesn't want to sell it. Sorry, Mom. Sorry you had to go through that all the time. And I can imagine though, it's a slammed Chevy on the side of the road. You know.
So you were saying your dad got you into old cars. What was your dad like?
He's an old racer. He's an old racer. He liked to fix up the motors and race, and he'd tell you what car he had that could smoke all of his friends, and they'd go out the end of 12th Street and just race at midnight. And yeah, that's his story. He's just race and race. He tells me the stories about the cars in the canyon that are off the side of the mountain. He says that was a way of punking somebody. Like if I won you in a race and I didn't like you, I'd go smash your van up into the canyon and drive it off the cliff. And I started realizing just like 2 summers ago that I don't know anything about Dodge or Ford. He bred me to be a Chevy guy. And yeah, as a kid, we just pick out years, and I love Chevy to the core. And Dodge, I don't have no hate to Dodge. I'm just a Chevy guy. You know.
Better not hate Dodge. I have a Dodge van.
You got a dope ass van. You got a dope ass van. I've loved that van since the first time you turned around and caught us 3 summers ago. Yep. You turned around, and I was like, dude, I don't know that dude, but that's a dope ass van. In my heart, it was my lowrider. Like that was as close as I could get as a 17-year-old kid. Slammed it. Got a Beltec drop suspension. Slammed it. And like I said, we'd fight if you wanted to. Just like how people say air ride isn't low riding. We will fight right now if you want to tell me that to my face. You know what I mean? And I don't agree with all that, because we all do different shit. We all do 15-inch rims. We do different shit. You know what I mean? And so it's in your blood. It's passion. Well, like I said, as soon as I slammed it, that was my lowrider. Yeah. And I've always considered it my lowrider. At the same time, I want to be that guy that's different. Because I want to have the 15-inch wheels, and you tell me I ain't lowriding when it looks like it looks just anything like your guys's, you know what I mean? Or whoever's else's. And a Rhino-lined El Camino. I love that, because you could touch it. You know what I mean? You could come up and look at it and come up and touch it. And I love that my battery, everybody's always asking me, are you going to get a cover for your bed? Hell no. Do you know how much attention that gets me? Because people want to come see why I have 8 batteries and 3 hydraulic pumps back there, you know what I mean? It's been a learning curve. I didn't know anything about hydraulics before I started, but I took everything apart. I've changed the cylinders, every hose on it. I've changed the drive shaft to get a slip and stub yoke, to get the coil spring on the end of the drive shaft. I've been through it with this car, so it's why only the reason I know how to do what I do is just because I've taken it apart and done it.
It's kicked your trash, but it's also made you fall in love.
And I tell my wife every time, like, they seen us on fire. My biggest flex is having it out by next week. Like, who fixed your shit for you like that fast? Who? I did it right here, you know, right here in this garage. So that's like makes me feel prideful, you know what I mean? Because I've had tons of people. Who did your stuff? Who did this? Who did this for you?
Tell me about your club that you're in, All City.
All City, me and Jackie, we just, after I got the car, he was kind of like, we need to start our own club. We need to see if we can, you know, get our own thing going on. And we both kicked around some names and stuff. And he ended up coming up with it. So he wanted me to be the president, and I was like, no, you're the one who kind of got me into. You're my sensei in a sense, you know what I mean? And so he's the one who taught me most of all that stuff about it, and then I just learned the car myself. But yeah, we just decided we was gonna do a club, and I love the plaque. I love our name. The lowrider world doesn't make us feel like that because we cruise with you. We cruise with, you know, I've been invited with Oaks, with respect, and had to miss out a couple times, but still want to next summer because I want to get to know everybody. Yep. There's no reason not to, you know what I mean? I just the times I get to hang out with everybody. I go around from person to person at every show and just feel like I get love everywhere, and I love it, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, I don't have a bad time ever. The only time I have a bad time is when I break something, and I'm out here to break it. Like, not really, because I'm not, but I'm out here to make it do what it does. I've learned how to three-wheel. I come up this way, come down this way, and I'm dancing, and I'm not a dancer, so this is my dancer, you know what I mean? And so, I don't know, I just love showing off. I guess that's my favorite thing. It's now I can be a show-off. This is one time we was at a car show, and I'm lost in the crowd. You can't even see me. There's so many more nicer cars around me. I'm just like the ugly duckling. What do? I go set it on three-wheel, and now I got crowds around me, you know what I mean? And it just made I'm over there telling them, look at this, look who's looking. They're posted in front of my car, you know what I mean? The one thing I think I learned from this is when I was 17, I wasn't ready for it. That's why the truck has sat the way it has for so many years, because I really wasn't ready for it. I got a family. Every time I'd get enough money to think I was going to paint it, we needed tires for the car, or something came along, and it just sat and sat and sat. My ex-wife hated it. So it was like kind of like, what are you gonna do? Why you got that rusty old truck out there? And I'm like, that's my baby. Are you kidding me? Like,
that's why she's not here. She's your ex.
That's why she's not here. Exactly. My wife now got together. We've been together now for going on 14 years. One day she's just like, hey, everybody's taking their cars out. We should take yours out. And I was like, it doesn't run very good, and blah blah blah. So I started just throwing money at it. Got a new carburetor, new intake, new high output alternator. Went and put a system in it, and just new bench seat, had Oaks and Sarah 𝐒𝐤𝐞𝐿 do my interior.
You had brought up your wife that she suggested you guys go cruising. One of the things I think that you and I luck out in is our wives. Not only are they pretty, we're not going to say that they're not pretty, because they're pretty. Yeah, for sure. They're awesome ladies, both of them.
But they enjoy it.
But they enjoy what we do. And they enjoy being a part of it.
Yeah, and they see that. I think she sees that I thrive doing it, love it. I love everybody while we're doing it, and she's just like, where else would we rather be? You know what I mean?
What is one life advice that you could give the people that are going to watch this video? Just one piece, your best life advice.
Oh man, hit me with an ugly one. Life advice, just like kind of like what we were talking about before, that being all these genres and niches and stuff like that. Just go with the flow, and that's what I feel like I'm doing. Go with the flow. Get yourself an old car. Have fun, come out and cruise, and just join the family, join the club, you know what I mean? Join a club, or join the family, roll solo, do whatever you want to do. Just be an open mind and a good friend to people, and you'll feel the love felt right back, you know what I mean? You got low T, get a freaking low.
That's the truth too. This is for the older gentlemen. If you have low testosterone, don't get on medication, just get a low rider.